Think your GMC can only make it to 200,000 miles before it starts falling apart? Well, I've got news for you. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. Here's what most folks don't realize about GMC trucks and SUVs. There are Sierra 1500s out there with over 400,000 miles still hauling heavy loads every single day like they just rolled off the assembly line. Yukons with 350,000 miles that are outlasting brand new vehicles costing twice as much. And Acadias pushing past 300,000 miles without a single major repair bill. But here's the kicker, and this is going to save you a small fortune. It's not about getting lucky with a good one, and it sure as heck isn't about babying your truck like it's made of glass. The real secret comes down to 12 specific maintenance steps that 90% of GMC owners completely overlook. And I'm not talking about the basic stuff your dealer reminds you about every visit. I'm talking about the real insider knowledge, the kind that separates the GMCs sitting in salvage yards at 150,000 miles from the ones still running strong well past 300,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds complicated. This sounds expensive. I don't have time for all this. But here's the truth. Most of these steps take less time than stopping for coffee on your way to work, and they'll save you anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000 over the life of your truck. Today, I'm walking you through every single one of these 12 steps. No fancy tools required, no expensive dealer visits, just straightforward knowledge applied at the right time. And if you stick with me all the way to the end, I'm revealing the one maintenance mistake that destroys more GMC engines than anything else. The crazy part? It only takes about 5 minutes and costs less than $20 to prevent. So grab a cup of coffee and let's talk about making your GMC last longer than you ever thought possible. Step 1. Master the oil change game. Let's start with something you've heard before, oil changes. But this is where most folks get it wrong, and it costs them big time. Engine failure is the #1 reason GMCs end up in salvage yards before 200,000 miles. And about 70% of these catastrophic failures trace back to one thing: oil neglect. Not complete neglect. Most people are changing their oil. They're just not doing it right. Your owner's manual probably says 7,500 miles, maybe even 10,000 miles with the oil life monitoring system. And sure, that might work if you're driving your GMC like a Sunday church car, highway miles, easy driving, perfect conditions. But let's be real. If you're like most GMC owners, you're towing a trailer on weekends, hauling equipment for work, or doing lots of short trips around town. Maybe you're driving in dusty conditions or dealing with extreme temperatures. All of that counts as severe service, and that 500-mile interval, it'll destroy your engine. GMC's 5.3L and 6.2L V8 engines are notorious for developing sludge when maintenance gets stretched out. That sludge blocks oil passages, and before you know it, you've got worn camshafts, damaged lifters, and a ticking time bomb under your hood. Here's the rule that keeps GMCs running past 300,000 miles. Change your oil every 5,000 miles. No exceptions. And always swap the filter with the oil. A dirty filter with clean oil is like putting clean water in a dirty glass. If you're comfortable getting under your truck, you can knock this out in 30 minutes for $1.40 in supplies. Compare that to a $4,000 engine rebuild, and it's the best insurance policy you'll ever buy. But oil changes are just the foundation. There's another fluid that's even more critical, and most people don't think about it until they're staring at a $4,000 repair bill. Step 2. The transmission fluid secret. Your GMC's transmission is one of the most expensive components in your truck. We're talking $3,500 to $5,000 for a replacement or rebuild. And most people treat it like it's bulletproof. Here's what General Motors has been telling people for years: lifetime transmission fluid, never needs changing, sealed for life. Sounds great, right? But here's the truth: that lifetime fluid is only lifetime if you consider 80,000 to 100,000 miles a lifetime. because that's about when these sealed-for-life transmissions start having problems. Slipping gears, rough shifts, delayed engagement, complete failure. For most GMC trucks and SUVs, you need to service that transmission fluid every 60,000 miles. Not flush it, service it. There's a big difference. A transmission flush uses high-pressure equipment to force all the old fluid out. In an older transmission with some miles on it, there's debris and deposits built up. A high-pressure flush can knock that stuff loose, then it goes floating through your transmission, clogging up the valve body and causing all kinds of headaches. A proper service is different. You drop the pan, drain the old fluid, replace the filter, clean the pan, and refill with fresh fluid. You're only replacing about 40 to 50% of the total fluid, but that's actually good. You're refreshing without disturbing deposits that have settled over the years. And use only genuine GM Dexron 6 transmission fluid. I know it costs more, but transmissions get destroyed by using the wrong fluid. The clutches slip, the seals leak, the whole thing goes south. Every 60,000 miles, get that transmission serviced. Use the right fluid. Your transmission will last as long as your engine does. Now, speaking of fluids that can make or break your GMC, there's one that actually turns acidic over time and literally eats your engine from the inside out. Step 3. Coolant, the silent engine killer. Your GMC uses Dex Cool, that bright orange coolant. GM markets it as long-life coolant that can go 150,000 miles before it needs changing. And technically, they're not lying. The coolant will still be orange at 150,000 miles. But here's what they don't tell you. When Dex Cool breaks down, it doesn't just stop working. It becomes corrosive. It turns acidic. And that acid starts eating away at everything it touches. Intake manifold gaskets fail, and you've got coolant leaking into your oil or cylinders. Water pump seals go bad, and coolant pours into the ground. Radiator cores corrode from the inside out, and suddenly you're overheating on the highway. All because the coolant wasn't swapped when it should have been. Swap your coolant every 60,000 miles, or every 5 years, whichever comes first. Don't wait for 150,000 miles. By then, the damage is already done. And here's a pro tip. When you swap the coolant, replace the thermostat at the same time. It's a $15 to $20 part. Takes an extra 10 minutes while you've already got the system drained. And it prevents a $1,500 repair when that old thermostat fails and causes your engine to overheat. But even perfect fluid maintenance won't save your GMC if you ignore one component that can cause all kinds of problems when it gets dirty. Step 4. The throttle body truth. Your throttle body controls how much air flows into your engine. When it's clean, everything works great. But when it gets dirty, your truck starts acting like it's running a marathon with a head cold. Here's how you know it needs attention. Rough idle at red lights, RPMs bouncing up and down, hesitation when you hit the gas, worse, fuel economy, that annoying check engine light throwing codes for the throttle position sensor. All of these symptoms can point to a dirty throttle body. And here's the good news. This is one of the easiest maintenance items you can tackle yourself. You need a can of throttle body cleaner, about $8 at any auto parts store, a clean rag, and about 20 minutes. Locate the throttle body, remove the air intake hose, spray the cleaner on the throttle plate and inside, wipe it clean, let it dry, and you're done. The difference is night and day. Your idle smooths out, throttle response improves, fuel economy comes back, all for $8 in 20 minutes. Ignore this, and that dirty throttle body starts causing sensor problems. You end up replacing sensors that weren't actually bad. Before you know it, you've spent $300 to $400 on parts and labor, when all you needed was $8 worth of cleaner. Now, while we're under the hood, there's another component that fails silently until it takes your entire electrical system down. Step 5. Battery terminal maintenance. Here's one of the most common and most preventable problems. Guy calls for a tow truck. His truck won't start. He's convinced he needs a new battery. The problem 9 times out of 10? Corroded battery terminals. That white, crusty buildup on your battery terminals is blocking the electrical connection. Your alternator works harder to charge the battery. Your starter struggles to crank the engine. Eventually, you're stranded in a parking lot. Here's what drives me crazy. It's so easy to prevent. Every 6 months, spring and fall, take 5 minutes and clean your battery terminals. Disconnect the negative terminal first, then the positive. Mix baking soda and water, about a tablespoon in a cup of water. Use a wire brush to scrub the terminals and cable ends. You'll see the corrosion fizz and bubble up. Rinse with clean water, dry everything, then apply a thin coat of petroleum jelly. Reconnect positive first, then negative. 5 minutes of work twice a year, and you'll never pay for a $200 tow bill because of corroded terminals. Speaking of simple maintenance most people overlook, there's one component that controls the air your engine breathes, and when it gets clogged, it costs you money every time you fill up. Step 6. Air filter. The fuel economy. Killer. Your air filter catches dirt, dust, pollen, leaves, bugs, and debris that would otherwise end up inside your engine. When it's clean, your engine breathes easy. When it's clogged, your engine works harder for every breath. People drive around with air filters that look like they've been through a dust storm. Black, clogged, can't even see light through them anymore. And they wonder why their fuel economy dropped from 18 to 16 miles per gallon. Do the math. If you're driving 15,000 miles a year and gas is $3.50 a gallon, that 2 mile per gallon difference costs you about $300 a year. All because you didn't want to spend $20 on a new air filter. Check your air filter every 12,000 miles. If it's dirty, swap it out. It's a 5-minute job. No tools needed. Pop open the housing, pull out the old filter, drop in the new one, close it up. 5 minutes and $20, and you could improve your fuel economy by 10%. Now, speaking of things that need regular attention, there's one component that, when it fails, causes a complete breakdown. Step 7. Serpentine belt inspection. That serpentine belt snaking around your engine pulleys is running your alternator, power steering pump, air conditioning compressor, and sometimes your water pump. When it breaks, everything stops. Your battery stops charging. Power steering stops working. Air conditioning stops. And if it's running your water pump, your engine starts overheating. You're not driving anywhere. You're calling a tow truck. And you're kicking yourself because you could have prevented it. Every time you swap your oil, take 30 seconds and look at that belt. You're looking for cracks in the rubber, fraying on the edges, or a shiny, glazed appearance. If you see any of these signs, swap the belt. Don't wait. The belt costs about $30. Labor is maybe $50. Compare that to a $150 tow bill, plus the cost of the belt, plus the labor, plus being stranded on the side of the road. Most GMC belts last about 100,000 miles, but check it regularly and swap it at the first sign of wear. Now, here's where things get interesting. There's a maintenance item that people think is optional, but skipping this one can cost you your entire engine. Step 8. Spark plug strategy. Spark plugs are small, cheap, and absolutely critical. But here's where people make two big mistakes. Mistake number 1. Swapping them too early. Modern iridium plugs in most GMCs are designed to last 100,000 to 120,000 miles. Changing them early doesn't help. You're just wasting money. Mistake number 2. Using cheap aftermarket plugs to save a few bucks. OEM plugs might cost $8 to $10 each. Cheap ones are $3 or $4. So you save maybe $30 on a set. But those cheap plugs don't fire quite right. Your engine runs rough, fuel economy drops, you start getting misfires. And those misfires can damage your catalytic converter. That's a $1,500 to $2,000 part. You saved $30 on spark plugs, and it cost you $2,000 in catalytic converter replacement. Check your owner's manual for the recommended interval. For most GMC V8s, that's 100,000 miles. When it's time, use OEM plugs. Get the exact part number that came in your truck from the factory. And if your truck is 10 years or older and approaching 100,000 miles, go ahead and swap the plugs, even if you haven't quite hit the mileage. spark plugs can seize in the cylinder head over time. Plugs that have been in there for 15 years can snap off when you try to remove them. But even perfect spark plugs won't help if you ignore the one system that keeps your engine from destroying itself. Step 9. Differential service. If you got a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive GMC, you've got differentials. Front and rear. These transfer power from your transmission to your wheels, and they're working hard every time you drive. Differentials are full of heavy gear oil under a lot of stress. It's lubricating gears meshing together under tremendous force. It's dealing with heat and moisture. Over time, that oil breaks down. When the oil breaks down, gears start wearing faster. Bearings start wearing faster. Eventually, you've got a differential that's whining, grinding, and getting ready to fail. When a differential fails, you're looking at a $1,500 to $2,500 repair. Swap your differential fluid every 60,000 miles. If you tow regularly, change it every 30,000 miles. Towing puts extra stress on your differentials, and that fluid breaks down faster. And use the correct gear oil. Your GMC's differentials need GL5 gear oil at a specific viscosity. Usually 75W90 or 80W90 depending on your model. Check your owner's manual, get the right stuff, and use it. Now, there's one more fluid that most GMC owners completely forget about until they hear a noise that makes them cringe. Step 10. Power steering fluid. When your power steering system works right, you don't even think about it. But when it starts to go bad, you'll know it. That high-pitched whining noise when you turn the wheel? That's your power steering pump crying for help. That stiff, hard-to-turn steering wheel? That's low power steering fluid. Ignore these warnings, and you're looking at a $400 to $600 pump replacement. Power steering fluid gets dirty, picks up moisture, and breaks down. When it breaks down, it stops lubricating your pump. The pump works harder, wears out, and eventually fails. Check your power steering fluid once a month. Takes 30 seconds. Pop the hood, find the reservoir, check the level. If it's low, top it off. If it's dark or has debris floating in it, it's time to swap it. Use genuine GM power steering fluid or a high-quality compatible substitute. Don't just use any hydraulic fluid. And if you hear that whining noise, check the fluid level immediately. If it's low, you might have a leak. A $50 hose replacement is cheaper than a $600 pump replacement. Now here's something that might surprise you. There's a maintenance task that takes 2 minutes and costs less than $10, but it prevents thousands in engine damage. Step 11. PCV valve replacement. The PCV valve, positive crankcase ventilation valve. Most people have never heard of it, and even fewer think about replacing it. But this little $8 part plays a huge role in keeping your engine healthy. As your engine runs, pressure builds up in the crankcase. That pressure needs to go somewhere. If it doesn't, it'll force its way past your seals and gaskets, causing oil leaks. It'll push oil past your piston rings, causing oil consumption. And it'll create sludge buildup inside your engine. The PCV valve releases that pressure in a controlled way, routing those gases back into your intake to be burned. When it's working right, you don't even know it's there. But when it fails, you've got problems. Swap your PCV valve every 60,000 miles. It's usually a simple twist and pull part that takes about 2 minutes. And here's an easy test. Pull it out and shake it. If it rattles, it's still working. If it doesn't rattle, it's stuck, and you need to replace it. This is so cheap and so easy, there's really no excuse not to do it. And it can save you from oil leaks, oil consumption, and sludge buildup that cost thousands to fix. And now, here's the big one. The maintenance mistake I promised to reveal. This destroys more GMC engines than anything else, and most owners don't even know about it until it's too late. Step 12. The timing chain killer. Here it is. The maintenance issue that destroys more GMC engines than everything else combined. Timing chain stretch. If you've got a GMC with a 5.3L or 6.2L V8, and that covers most Sierras, Yukons, and Suburbans from the last 15 years, pay attention. These engines are known for timing chain issues. The chains stretch over time. When they stretch, the timing between your crankshaft and camshafts gets off. And when the timing gets off, bad things happen. Here's how you know. You start your truck in the morning and you hear a rattling noise from the engine. It lasts for a few seconds, then goes away. That's your timing chain rattling around because it's stretched and loose. A lot of people hear that noise and think, oh, it goes away after a few seconds, so it's probably not a big deal. Wrong. That noise is your engine telling you that you've got a problem. When a timing chain stretches too much, it can jump a tooth on the sprocket. When that happens, your valves and pistons can collide. Bent valves, damaged pistons, and a $3,000 to $5,000 engine rebuild. Have your timing chain inspected every 100,000 miles. A good mechanic can check for stretch without taking anything apart. If there's significant stretch, swap the chain before it fails. Yes, it's expensive. You're looking at $800 to $1,200 for a timing chain replacement. But compare that to a $5,000 engine rebuild, and it's a bargain. And here's a pro tip. If you're having the timing chain replaced, swap the water pump at the same time. On many GMC engines, the water pump is driven by the timing chain, and you have to remove it to get to the chain anyway. You're already paying for most of the labor. Might as well replace the water pump while you're in there. Now here's the thing. All of this maintenance means nothing if you don't know the warning signs that your GMC is trying to tell you something's wrong. Because your truck talks to you. It gives you signals, sounds, smells, vibrations. These are all your truck's way of saying, hey, I need help here. And if you know what to listen for, you can catch problems early before they turn into expensive repairs. That's exactly what I cover in my next video, where I break down the 7 sounds your GMC makes that mean you need to stop driving immediately. Some of these sounds seem harmless. You might even be ignoring them right now, but they can lead to catastrophic failures if you don't address them. I'm talking about sounds that could mean your engine is about to seize, sounds that could mean your transmission is about to fail, sounds that could leave you stranded on the side of the road with a repair bill running into the thousands. Click on this video right here to learn what your GMC is trying to tell you before it's too late. This knowledge could save you from being stranded on the highway with a destroyed engine and a massive tow bill. Look, here's the bottom line. Your GMC was built to last. These trucks and SUVs are some of the most capable, most reliable vehicles on the road when they're properly maintained. But even the best-built truck needs proper care. Follow these 12 steps. Stay ahead of the maintenance schedule. Don't cut corners. Don't skip services to save a few bucks. Because that $100 you save today by skipping a service will cost you $1,000 or more down the road when something fails. Take care of your GMC and it'll take care of you. It'll haul your family safely. It'll tow your trailer reliably. It'll get you to work every day without drama. And it'll do all of that for 300,000 miles or more. And if this video helped you out, if you learned something today that's going to save you money and keep your truck running longer, hit that subscribe button. I post new GMC maintenance and repair videos every single week. Real information, no nonsense, just straightforward advice to help you keep your truck running strong and save money on repairs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.